The stretching exercises that you see here are specifically for working on the floor and standing. We will be using the exercise band with handles, lightweight, and a small children's exercise ball. The breath work here is in through the nose and out through the pursed lips, out through the mouth. Don't rush through the poses. Go slowly, feel the body, listen to the body, and if you feel any pain or any discomfort, stop immediately. You can do these exercises on the bed or on the floor. Just make sure that you can get off the floor while doing this. Every exercise, if it's a hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. If it is an exercise that you are using repetition, then do each side of the body or each exercise for 10 repetitions. You can stop this video at any given time. Posture, stance, placement of the feet and the shoulders and the hips are all important. Right here, the feet is directly under the knees. The hips are specifically in line with the shoulders. This pose, you don't have to take the knee all the way over. Just take it over where you're comfortable. If you do not feel comfortable doing this exercise, just don't do it and just go on to the next. Every exercise is geared to specifically hone, strengthen, and detox the body. With each exercise, be gentle with yourself. Don't over push it. Relax into the pose. And if you feel like staying longer, then pause the video and stay in whatever exercise you feel that is serving your purpose. If your body does not feel comfortable doing it, once again, don't do it. Don't forget to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Make sure the shoulders, the hips, the ankles are all comfortably touching the mat and the floor and secure. You want to make sure that you're stabilizing your spine. The ball that you see is just a kid's ball. And you see me, I am pulsing. And I'm engaging my core by pressing my hips and my lower back into the floor. Okay. If by curling the ball up to the abdomen hurts your lower back, you can place a towel under your lower back for support. Once again, only do what you can. As you get stronger, you'll be able to do more of these stretches. So do not be concerned if you cannot do a stretch. Let's move on to the next. It's important to engage the core. That is the reason why we are laying down on the mat, on the floor. The way to engage the core is push the lower back into the floor and tilt the pelvic up to the ceiling gently. You're going to feel your shoulders, your mid-back, and your hips tightening and engaging the floor. Push through the heels when pressing up. You will feel more power, and then take your hands and place it right at your belly button and press against that. That's how you're going to feel that you are engaging the abdominal section. Once again, be gentle with yourself. Nothing happens overnight. We need to take things one step at a time. The leg lifts is for the hip joint. So gently raise, don't throw the leg up, gently raise, bringing the leg closer and closer to you with every raise. Keep the palms flat and to the side of the hips, supporting the hips. We don't want the hips lifting off the floor. We want to make sure that the back is pressed into the floor. This ankle exercise is to build the ankles and to strengthen the calves. We're doing this laying down because sometimes if our balance is not quite strong enough while we're standing, the floor supports our back. You can do this for 10 repetitions on each side. Okay. Take your time with each exercise. Learn the exercises and the stretches that feel good to you. If you have ever any questions, then let me know and we can either modify or we can explain it. Taking the exercise bands, this is a light exercise band with the handles. We're going to support the leg and the knee by giving a resistance with the band. Opposite hand, opposite leg, taking the leg to the side, pushing the heel out, making sure you're using the band to control the lift, okay? Make sure the hips stay to the floor. And if you cannot do this exercise because your inner thigh is tight or you do not have range of motion in that location, then pass this exercise until we further work on those exercises. Okay? Remember to push the heel outwards away from you. That is going to tighten up the leg. It's going to flex the leg and you're going to have more control. The band is placed right in the arch of the foot. Okay. Adding both legs, using the band to help stretch the back or posterior part of the legs, the hamstrings and the calves, the lower back. Okay. Keep some resistance to the band while holding this. Okay. Keep the hips to the floor. We're going to work the abductors and adductors. Press the heels outwards and guide the band to keep some resistance as you pulse outwards. Okay. Working the inner thigh. Don't rush through the poses and the stretches. I strongly suggest taking your time, feeling what your body feels like doing the stretches, because then you will know exactly what works for you and what doesn't. Using the children's exercise ball, you're going to gently place it between the lower part of the back and the mat. You're going to have to adjust for you. Heels are flat and secure. Upper back is held. Okay. Don't round the neck and gently go down to the back and pull up. I want you to place one finger or two fingers on the belly button as you place the hand in the chest so you know what muscles you're using to engage. The rep range is 10. We're going to place the ball between the legs, palms go to the back, lift the chest, and gently pulse. But don't just pulse the legs. I want you to connect with the inner and lower abdominal muscles and squeeze. Leg extensions, push the heel forward and gently extend. Try not to touch the floor when you're doing this. Tighten up the quadriceps and keep on pushing with the heel forward as like you're kicking up. Go slowly so that you can fully extend the knee and the leg. If this is difficult, then just take your time. With practice, you will get more range of motion. Bringing the legs up, we are going to also extend the legs individually, laying on the back. pressing the lower back into the floor, keeping the hips on the floor, and gently extending the legs, okay? Making sure the heel is pressed to the ceiling. Okay, being on the floor, laying flat with the back will stabilize the whole back system, but at the same time will help you to work out the legs without having pressure, because the weight bearing is on the back and on the floor. Taking the bands, we're going to place it in the arch of the leg, one leg down, and in a hurdle position. We are going to gently pull. You're going to feel the stretch in the calves and the hamstrings and in the ankle. Keep the chest up, gently folding forward. You will feel the stretch, okay, behind the leg, into the glutes, and possibly into the lower back. You can stay as long as you want in each exercise and pose. If it feels good, I strongly suggest listening to your body, adding the 2 legs, leaning forward, gently hold, feel that stretch. Don't force the stretch, never force the stretch. As we stand up, go slowly. If you get dizzy, we are in a runner's lunge. Sometimes this is a hard stretch for some people. So if you can't do this, pass. You're going to gently lean into the front leg, adjusting the back leg, okay? You need to leave at least 6 to 8 inches between the spacing of the feet. That is what's going to keep you supported, okay? Going into cat and cow is one of the best exercises and stretches for the lower back, the upper back, and the hips, okay? Gently move from cat to cow, pushing the hips back and shoulders and arching the back. If your hands hurt, pad your hands and pad your knees so that you are comfortable while doing these stretches. Okay? In the puppy pose, we're going to move from puppy to downward dog. Okay? Gently press. If you cannot press your heels into the mat, don't worry about it. Okay? If you cannot do that stretch because of dizziness, pass. Standing up, we are going to do a split stance, and we're going to hinge forward, keeping the back flat as a tabletop. You're going to feel the stretch in the hamstrings, the glutes, and the calves. Don't worry if you cannot touch your toes. Gently pull your toe back. You're going to feel the stretch in the calves. Once again, if you cannot reach, you can always use the bands, wrap it around your arch, and gently pull backwards. Okay, standing in an A-frame position, we're going to put one hand on one knee, one hand on the hip, and we'll do an inner thigh stretch with the side lunge. Holding a pole or banister, you're going to gently push back, pushing the hips back and pulling with the arms. You're going to feel the stretch on the posterior chain or the back part of the body. You'll feel this in the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves, into the lower back, into the shoulders. It's a wonderful stretch. Stretching up the quads, the calves. We're going to do calf raises by holding, okay, straight up. Quadricep, standing stretch. Gently hold on. If you can't reach your ankles, don't worry about it. You can always use a band. Keep your posture up. Chest is up tall. Don't hunch the back while doing this. Hinging forward gently, taking the palms right under the knees into a flat back, you will feel another stretch, okay, from the ankles all the way to the glutes. Most people have hamstring and glutes tightness, and that it really hurts the lower back. Taking the arm up into an arc, gently bend to the side. We're going to be stretching the side of the abdomen, the core, up into the arm and down to the hip. Okay. Think of the little teapot and keep the chest up and bend nicely to the side. We're going to put the fingers together, join into a point, pelvic thrust forward, and gentle bend backwards. If you cannot lean backwards because you get dizzy, then pass on that stretch. Big round circles to stretch out the shoulders, rotation of the shoulders forward and backwards to the front. We're going to do a standing lunge stretch right there. You're going to feel that in your calves. Right there, press the heel into the floor. Big circles again for the shoulders.